Have you ever looked at the pyramids or other ancient megastructures and thought, how could humans possibly have built this? Well, you're not alone. Enter the Anunnaki, a term you might have stumbled upon in forums, documentaries, or perhaps ancient aliens. The term Anunnaki comes from ancient Sumerian texts, and these deities have been described in various ways, from gods of the Mesopotamian pantheon to ancient astronauts who visited Earth and helped humanity leapfrog in technology and wisdom. The Sumerians were one of the first civilizations on Earth, and they were meticulous record keepers. Cuneiform tablets talk about these supposed gods descending from the sky, and there are even depictions that seem to show humanoid figures with what appear to be advanced technology. However, is this evidence of extraterrestrial contact or merely the poetic expression of a burgeoning civilization? Mainstream archaeology and history do not support the ancient astronaut theory. They interpret the texts and images as religious or mythological representations. However, the ancient astronaut theorists suggest that these were literal events and that the Anunnaki had a hand in constructing or guiding the construction of awe-inspiring structures like the pyramids, the ziggurats, and maybe even Stonehenge. Why? Perhaps to leave a fingerprint on human civilization. Or maybe they constructed these with specific purposes in mind that we have yet to fully understand. If the Anunnaki did exist and did indeed help humanity, why did they leave? Or have they? And more importantly, what was the purpose behind constructing these monumental edifices? Were they made from stone to stand the test of time, so that future generations of humanity would question and explore their origins, thereby reconnecting with a past that might be more interstellar than we ever imagined? So many questions and so few definitive answers, but what is clear is that the tale of the Anunnaki invites us to expand the frontiers of what we consider possible, not just in the external world, but in the realm of what humanity could become. After all, if we were influenced by such advanced beings, what untapped potentials might still lie within our DNA, waiting for the right moment or the right discovery to activate them? We've talked about pyramids, those pointy architectural wonders, but let's shift gears, or stones, to be more accurate. You see, pyramids aren't the only megalithic structures that have bewildered historians and scientists alike. We've got Stonehenge, the Karnak stones, Göbekli Tepe, and they're all kind of round. Why? What's the significance of these circular stone formations? Let's teleport to the Salisbury Plain in England, home to one of the most iconic prehistoric monuments, Stonehenge. This ring of standing stones, each around 13 feet high, 7 feet wide, and weighing around 25 tons, isn't just ancient. It's prehistoric, predating even the Druids. We're talking about a time as far back as 3000 BC. And just like the pyramids, Stonehenge's construction methods boggle the mind. Now, Stonehenge's rocks, or sarsens, aren't local. They were brought from a site 20 miles away. How? Theories range from human ingenuity using logs as rollers to, once again, extraterrestrial intervention. Could the Anunnaki, or any other ancient astronaut for that matter, have had a round phase? You might chuckle, but Stonehenge's precise geometric and astronomical alignments, like its famous solstice-sunrise alignment, suggest advanced understanding, if not of this world, then certainly out of the ordinary. But Stonehenge isn't alone. Let's zoom out and travel to Karnak, France. The Karnak stones are an exceptionally dense collection of megalithic sites consisting of alignments, dolmens, and single menhirs. Over 3,000 individual stones were hauled and erected, some weighing as much as 350 tons. Like Stonehenge, their purpose and the methods used to construct them remain open to interpretation. Were these stones used for ceremonial purposes, or are they ancient earthbound GPS markers for celestial beings? And while we're still globetrotting, let's not forget Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey. Estimated to be at least 11,000 years old, this site predates Stonehenge by around 6,000 years and is considered the world's oldest known temple complex. The question here, again, is why? Why would a hunter-gatherer society, which had not yet even invented the wheel or metal tools, spend what must have been an inordinate amount of time and effort to construct something so grand? Have you ever stopped to think, Why stone? Is the medium the message? Stone is not the easiest material to work with. It's heavy, it's unwieldy, and it requires significant labor and technology to shape. So why did our ancestors, and perhaps their extraterrestrial guides, go through all the trouble of dragging these giant rocks for miles and miles, instead of just, using wood or mud bricks? One reason is durability. Stone stands the test of time. Unlike wood, it doesn't rot. Unlike metal, it doesn't rust. These structures were built to last, possibly to ensure that the knowledge or message they encapsulate endures through millennia. But let's get philosophical for a moment. Stone is elemental, one of the raw materials of our planet. It's a link between the heavens and the earth. In many ancient cultures, stones were sacred. The philosopher's stone, a mythological alchemical substance, was said to be able to turn base metals into gold. The Kaaba in Mecca is built around a black stone that is believed to have celestial origins. So, in constructing these magnificent structures from stone, were our ancestors, or perhaps their celestial guides, imbuing them with a sense of divine permanence? It's almost as if these megalithic structures are physical prayers etched into the very bones of the earth. And then there's the signaling aspect. These stone structures are anything but subtle. They're massive, they're grandiose, and they can be seen from miles away, and even, in the case of the Nazca lines in Peru, from the sky. Is it possible that these were signals to something or someone out there in the cosmos? Could it be that these ancient peoples were either guided by or trying to attract the attention of celestial beings? One more fascinating thing to consider is acoustics. Yes, you heard me right. Some researchers have discovered that stone structures like Stonehenge have unique acoustic properties. They can amplify sound in strange ways, almost like an ancient amphitheater. Could these properties have ritualistic implications, or perhaps communicate in a frequency spectrum that we have yet to fully understand? So, why stone? Well, it's durable, it's elemental, and it may have unique properties that go beyond mere structural integrity. Stone may be the Earth's way of speaking, of recording messages not just for its human inhabitants, but also for travelers amongst the stars. So, what happened to all this incredible knowledge and engineering prowess if indeed these structures were made with some sort of lost ancient or even non-terrestrial wisdom? After the flood, yes, the mythical, often religious, great flood that appears in narratives from cultures around the world, what happened to the knowledge encoded in stone? Did we lose our ability to decipher it, or was it intentionally erased? First, let's tackle the idea of a global flood. Many civilizations have flood myths: the biblical Noah's Ark, the Sumerian story of Ziusudra, and the Hindu tale of Manu, to name a few. These stories usually involve a cataclysmic event that wipes out most of humanity, sparing only a few who are often forewarned by a deity or some supernatural entity. Whether or not a great flood actually happened is still up for debate among scientists. But what is intriguing is the vemi of lost knowledge that often accompanies these myths. So if such a flood did occur, it could have effectively acted as a reset button on human civilization, and possibly on any extraterrestrial influence, like that potentially of the Anunnaki. But there's another layer here: the concept of intentionally hidden or erased knowledge. Let's entertain the idea that these structures served not just as monumental engineering feats, but also as repositories of advanced knowledge. If these structures were aligned with celestial bodies and possibly even encoded with sacred or scientific information, what happened to the people or entities capable of such understandings? Did they perish in these great floods? Or did they intentionally log out, leaving us to fend for ourselves, erasing or encrypting the knowledge until we reach a point in our evolution where we can decipher it again? We should also consider the broken telephone effect. Even if the information wasn't lost due to cataclysmic events, the transferring of knowledge through generations could lead to misinterpretations or loss of the original meaning. Over time, what started as a precise scientific principle could be diluted into a mere myth or legend, its truth obscured by the sands of time. Now let's talk about the facts. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned with incredible precision to the true north, which intriguingly aligns with the position of the North Star. Stonehenge is well known for its alignment with the solstices. During the summer solstice, for example, the sun rises just over the so-called heel stone when viewed from the center of the circle. But these aren't isolated cases. Structures from different cultures, spread across different continents and different times, also exhibit these alignments. It's a global phenomenon. Could it be mere coincidence? Or perhaps a type of ancient GPS? In many cultures, stars served as the calendars, compasses, and even spiritual guides for people. Stars were the clockwork of the ancients, their movements dictating the seasons for agriculture, navigation for journeys, and timings for religious or social ceremonies for ancient peoples, as well as potential extraterrestrial guides like the Anunnaki. If we entertain that theory, aligning monumental structures with the heavens could have been a way to harmonize earthly existence with cosmic cycles. However, there's an even more mystifying layer to consider. What if these alignments were a form of communication? Think about it. These structures are incredibly old, and yet their alignments with celestial bodies are accurate to a degree that is staggering even by today's standards. If the builders, be they human or otherworldly, wanted to demonstrate a high level of knowledge or sophistication, aligning these massive, difficult-to-build structures with distant celestial bodies would be a great way to do it. It's as if they're saying, look at what we know, look at what we can do. There's also a more esoteric suggestion, one that leans into the notion of as above, so below. This ancient Hermetic principle suggests that earthly realities are a mirror of celestial ones. By aligning these massive stone structures to the stars, were ancient builders attempting to bring the celestial down to the terrestrial, to create a sort of cosmic harmony, a symphony in stone that resonates with the heavens?